Right now you're in the coin pod. We're in episode 15. Hi, I'm Bruce.
I have cried so many times editing this podcast. Just kidding, Heaven. Hi, I'm Carly.
I'm Bruce. Welcome to A Couple of Issues.
And that's our intro for every episode. Not really.
So Sweetener by Ariana Grande came out, so I figured that would be the theme of this episode.
It's sweet. Hi, I'm Ariana. It's sweetener. I feel like she talks like
good.
that. Thanks. I'll work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll the intro, Burl.
Couple of issues.
I clicked it, but I didn't click it.
You clicked it.
I clicked. Okay, here's what goes on here. I have the intro saved in my notes.
Yep.
It looks like this, and I click it when he says roll the intro, and sometimes I think I click it and my finger doesn't click it, I guess. It's my finger's fault, not mine.
We released the song on iTunes.
So how long is it? Literally 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Whoa.
And the preview would be like the song.
It would be this. Oh, why is
You
it
gotta put it in front
now?
of the mic.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't.
This is a
Okay,
great.
well, I tried. It would be, and that would be it.
Yeah.
Do you know what part I'm talking about? All right, me neither. I just made a noise.
Anyways, off to a good start. Yeah, so Carly's obsessed with Ariana Grande's new album. Not that I'm not either. I love it.
Yeah.
But you are like crazy obsessed.
Which is like weird for me because I'm not like a huge pop fan, I guess. Like I don't go crazy over stuff like that. But I feel like what?
I would say Taylor Swift though.
Yeah, there's specific people that I like am obsessed with.
One Direction.
Okay, maybe I am obsessed with pop music. Now you're really bringing that up.
JoJo.
I guess you're right. Yeah, but that was like when I was like 10.
Clay Aiken.
I can't talk about Clay Aiken right now. It's going to really tear me apart. If you guys don't know, I'm obsessed with I was obsessed with Clay Aiken. Do you think I still am?
I think you are because like you when I brought it up, like you like lightened up. You were glowing when you were singing Invisible to me. I don't know why you were singing it the other night.
I don't know
We were
either.
making some joke and you were
What
singing.
you doing tonight? It's a good ass song. Anyways, I don't know. Well, I think it's because like in high school and college stuff, I never really listened to the radio. I only got into One Direction now, like a few years ago.
Now.
Right now, it's a really bad time to get into One Direction because they're not a band anymore. But I think you helped me get into pop, like because you do so much pop production.
Yeah.
You know, like that's why I like it.
I influenced you.
Yeah, and
I guess I'm the real influencer in this relationship.
oh goddamn,
Sorry.
should I leave?
Yeah, please.
And you make such good pop music.
Oh, thank you.
Literally is like sounds like the radio, and so when I hear stuff like this, it just I don't know, it like reminds me of you, kind of.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's Max Martin, so that's a huge compliment.
Oh,
He's like one of the biggest producers
yeah, he did.
ever.
He did a lot of like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys
And One Direction.
and One Direction.
And
now
Katy Perry and Britney Spears. And every hit ever probably had Max Martin attached to it in some way.
Dang.
The Weeknd.
oh wow, he's good then.
Oh,
I guess he's good then. Yeah, but it's funny.
he's like, oh, I finally made it. Carly's a fan.
You're welcome, Max Martin, for that shout out, for the clout. But yeah, I don't know. And I think her voice is so freaking good. I'm not like, I don't know there's certain people that I'm like, I just want to hear you do covers all day. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I also like Ariana because she does a lot of impressions, and I'm obsessed with
She's
impressions.
really good.
Yeah. She was like Celine Dion.
I have a theory that if you're good at impressions, like you're good at impersonating voices, if you hear it mimicking
Thank
it,
you.
you could be a
Thank
really
you.
good singer. I
Thank
think
you.
people that can do impressions tend to be really good singers.
Yeah, but I don't know if I would sing the right way because I'd just be like imitating somebody else.
But that's how Ariana even... I always get made fun of for saying... I don't know, like, I got yelled at when I used to do... We used to do cover. Our first cover, The Weekend Rat's first cover was an Ariana Grande cover.
Problem?
Yeah, with
I know.
with Iggy. I know.
I know, I remember.
And I think we got made fun of. Maybe it was Johnny said it wrong. But one of us said it wrong. It was like
Well, how did you say it?
or
Ariana?
I say Ariana, and he said Ariana. I don't know, man.
Just call her Ari.
AG. But damn it, I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, well, we watched our carpool karaoke recently.
Well, I was gonna say that's funny. She started out just doing like imitating kind of like Mariah and stuff like that. That's what she said. And then that's why in the car she said that in carpool karaoke, and then it took a while.
Oh yeah, she
to
like
find
learned how
her
to
voice.
do runs that way.
Yeah.
Can I learn how to do runs
And
that
do
way?
like she does like
Oh. I think I got it.
you nailed it. That was really good.
Thanks.
But yeah, she learned her like whistle tone and stuff like that from Marianne.
She learned how to do it, but you have to be like
Yeah, you gotta get
naturally born
voice
with
lessons.
it too, right?
Well, you can work at it. That was there.
If I had-
Dogs are howling
Dogs are-
across the universe right now.
Dog's wigs flew all around the world. So if I did
Leash
that,
flew, sis.
if I did that though, like, could I do that? But if it had vibration, would that be a good note? Like
Vibration.
vibrato or whatever it's called.
Well, Carly, you're gonna die. You look like you're dying.
I'm breathing in really hard.
Oh, don't breathe in. Don't breathe in. That's really bad for you.
You're supposed to breathe out when you whistle
whistle
tone?
tones out.
Whoa, I always breathe in.
But
I'm breathing in.
That's really bad for your vocal cords. That's like those screamers that would do pig squeals and go.
Yeah.
They would get really bad nodes because when you're breathing in, that technique is like really bad for your throat.
Oh. Those
but
nodes, though.
the way you're talking sounds like you're high. It was so funny. We were watching Ariana Grande's carpool karaoke. And can I say this?
Yeah, I don't care.
So she was a little high.
I was very high.
She was very high. And
It's legal here, guys.
Yeah. It was for her anxiety. So
yeah, my medication.
no, but seriously.
No, yeah.
You literally can't sleep without it. Well, you can, but
I can.
it puts you at ease.
Yes.
I'm not like shaming you. I'm
And
just
like
saying
in the
it's-
morning and at 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I literally only do smoke at night.
Yeah. So she's laying watching carpool karaoke with Ariana Grande, and we're like halfway through it, and she's doing like all these runs. Ariana, not Carly. So Ariana Grande's doing all these runs and stuff, and I'm like, wow, she's like incredible. This is amazing. So then Carly turns to me and she goes, "Is she the best singer in the world?" I just thought it
Like
was so funny.
technically.
She is. I think she's up there. as
Yeah.
one of- I mean, I think she's one of the best pop singers. I don't know
Yeah.
if she's the best, but she's one of the best pop singers.
Because she's literally, first of all, she's sitting down
Yeah.
in a car and just like opens her mouth and it's like she can sing literally anything and it sounds amazing and she I don't know. It's just insane to me.
I don't know why I'm asking the question, but
Okay.
like the best singer in the world, wouldn't that be like? Isn't that opinion?
Well, I guess I meant like technical, like someone who can hit like a certain amount of notes or something.
Oh yeah. Well, in that sense, I guess when it comes to technicality, I don't think she would be the best because I feel like you would have to have like you would have to be versatile in the sense you can do every single thing. If
She
you're
can.
the best singer in the world.
Yeah.
Well, she's great, but I
Yeah.
mean, there might be people that could do. I can do a low C5 to a high C9. It's
Oh, and she can't.
That doesn't work.
I did read she has one of the most versatile like ranges. Like she
Yeah.
can do, I think it's like
Her lows are
9
nuts.
ranges or something.
Yeah, her nuts.
They said like good singers or really good singers usually have like 3 ranges. Am I saying the right words?
You mean down here? Or do you mean down here? Or do you mean down here? Or do you mean down here?
Oh, okay. So Bruce is the best singer.
What's up,
not
Mary's
Ariana.
Got Talent?
I feel like, Brendan Urie too, right? He has like
Brendan
a
Urie-
huge range.
Okay. There was a time Brendan wasn't the best singer.
Did he get
And
vocal
like, no
lessons?
shame, I fucking love Brendan Urie. I think he's one of the best singers in the rock game, for
Yeah.
sure, if not the best. He had to have gotten vocal lessons. When Panic first came out and he would tour, it was rough live. Like his voice, I think he was just singing so wrong. Where there's a video I think I was showing you and Aaron where it was him at it was an MTV live thing, and he must have been sick, but he was struggling. It was I Write Sins. It was I
yeah.
chime in with a haven't you? And he was like struggling for all those, and for that I can. It was like I can, like struggling.
no.
It was rough. Now it was like he went from like I never want to be embarrassed like that again. So maybe that was
Yeah.
like the moment.
Oh my
I have no
God,
idea.
that's crazy.
But fucking, do you ever see? Sorry, I'm cursing so much right now. I get so passionate about this. But if you watch him now, like watch a Brendan Urie vocal compilation. It's insane.
Oh yeah, I've never done that.
His range, like, and a lot of people, I guess, forget that like Panic, like there's a lot of people that are like, oh, Panic had that one song and they're not anything now. No, they're selling out arenas now.
Yeah, they're huge.
Super relevant. Well,
Yeah.
it's just him now, but
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
oh,
he
I
is
didn't even
Panic
know
at the
that.
Disco. Yeah.
What? Why did everyone quit?
I'm not really sure.
It's really weird.
I think the guitarist quit back in 2009.
Oh.
And then
His loss.
Then it was him and the drummer, and I think the drummer had drug problems and left. The bassist, I think, was the first to go. So then it was just Brendan, and then he has like a hired band that like tours with him.
Weird. Didn't know that. I just loved. I loved Brendan Urie's vines because
He's really funny.
and that's like the singing ones are really good and funny.
Yeah.
Stop for a coffee and I'm living it up.
What was the other one?
Which one?
Like he said something. He had like his coffee.
Oh,
baby.
Oh, but you look nothing like your profile pic,
Oh,
girl.
wait. I'm thinking of something else. No, he had like something
Stop
about.
for a coffee and I'm living it up.
No, another one.
What? Something about being bubbly or something?
I forget. It's not important.
No, it
Vine
is.
is dead.
Yeah, Vine's gone. Bye. Buy Sweetener on iTunes.
But we're sponsored by Ariana Grande.
We are, as far as I'm concerned.
We went to a diner the other night. Sorry, I just wanted to tell the story. Went to a diner the other night, Mel's Diner in LA.
cool.
There's like 4 of them, and we were talking about how while we were there, like back in the day, like people would come out on like roller skates and like bring food to your car.
Yeah.
Like that's so crazy. And I remember going. There was a Sonic that opened near where I grew up. In like 2008
Sonic.
maybe, and Sonic goes up. It was in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. And we're sitting there, and it was like, I guess the first day, and like nobody knew how to roller skate, but they had them all roller skate to bring the food, which is like a huge liability, I guess. But I guess everyone had to do it. So while we were eating, we just sat and like witnessed the craziest like wipeouts I've ever seen. And these people were trying to bring food, and they were like, whoa, and just like falling.
So weird. Why would they like train them first?
I think they probably did, but
That's
like,
so funny.
we were there for training day, I guess, or something.
Oh my God. Imagine having to do, like, you never served food before or roller skated.
Yeah.
And now you got to do both, and you're so, like, clumsy.
I know.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why. I mean, that Sonic's closed. A bunch of them closed.
Yeah, well, now they don't do roller skates at all. They're probably like, okay, this isn't working.
Yeah,
They just
maybe
walk
they
out.
got sued so much they were like.
Probably.
They have really good marketing. Those
Do
two
they?
guys. Do you remember those 2 guys that would sit in the car and they'd be like really weird with each other?
Oh, yeah, and like the drive-through.
They would. Yeah, they'd just be sitting in their car.
I think so. If I'm
and
getting
they
the right
would talk
play.
and they'd be like, my wife, blah blah blah.
Oh,
blah.
yeah, and it was
they'd go
like-
back-
yeah.
those guys are really funny.
And they'd get like footlongs and
Where are
stuff.
they at now?
Probably still at Sonic.
That's true. Yeah.
You okay?
We'll see you guys next week. Sorry.
Zoned out a little bit there.
Yeah, sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
just
I'm
thinking
trying to think
about-
what else happened this week.
That's what I was just literally
The
just zoning out.
Weekend.
This is crazy.
Oh, I'm gonna
Okay,
like
guys.
pass out talking about it.
This is so funny. Carly and I went to Ralph's the other night.
which
and
is
how
a
bizarre.
which is a grocery store if you don't know, because
Yeah, it's like a
I'm
Kroger.
from the Midwest. I didn't know it was a place.
It's like an Acme. It's like a Giant. Whatever, Giant Eagle.
yeah, whatever you prefer.
We went to that one specifically
Yeah,
because
we
I
went-
wanted Stumptown.
yeah.
So I wanted to get a bunch of cold brew coffees. So we go to this Ralph's at like 11:30 at night, and you had seen
I saw Ryland and Morgan, obviously
From-
Shane Dawson's boyfriend
and
and his sister,
yeah,
Ryland's
His
sister.
boyfriend's sister.
I'm sure you know who we're talking about, but if you don't, they're big YouTubers.
yeah.
And I had never like met them before or anything, so I didn't want to be like, oh, hey guys. But I just saw them and I was like, oh my God, there was Ryland and Morgan, like literally a fan. And we were like, oh my God, it's so cool. And then
Well, you came over to me and you're like, I just saw Ryland and Morgan. I'm like,
yeah.
who's that? And you're like, Shane's boyfriend. I was like, oh.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then we heard a minute later, we heard Andrew's laugh. And if you don't know who Andrew is, he films for Shane. He's my old roommate. So like
Yeah.
we know each other pretty well. He worked with Bruce for a while. So like
Yeah.
we're all connected. And
So we see, yeah. So
We-
I'm like, hey, Andrew, what's up, dude?
yeah, we heard Andrew's laugh, so we turned the corner and he's with Shane. And like if you guys, well, you probably don't know, but I've like been really obsessed with Shane for like 4 years. Like I just thought he was, I still do, but like he's like one of the funniest people and most real people. And like obviously now you guys know how real he is making these series and stuff.
Yeah, he's done a lot of series on like Jeffree Star and
Yeah.
a lot of like multiple part series like
Like a Netflix documentary
it's great.
almost. He's great. But he's just like a huge idol to me. And he's a huge idol to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But and I've met him and talked to him like at Trisha's birthday and stuff. So it was
Yeah.
like so weird. But we just we're all talking, and I literally, like, if he was listening or watching this right now, he'd probably be like, what? But, like, even talking to him, my heart was literally palpitating. Like, I was like,
so
we're all
funny.
just, like, in a conversation right now. They're idols to me. I don't
That's
know.
so funny.
So wild. So wild. I don't
Yeah,
know.
me and-
It's so weird.
Andrew and I were
Oh
just
my
like talking and like catching up and talking about like random stuff. And I didn't, you guys were like in your own little world, like
Yeah.
talking about a bunch of stuff.
God. Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah. My heart was palpitating. I hope he doesn't think that I'm crazy if he ever sees or hears this.
But if he wants to do a series on me, I'll kill somebody.
I'll murder anybody. I'll murder a YouTuber, and it'll be really juicy. The story, not the murder. Maybe the murder.
The murder will be juicy.
Yeah.
Who'd your victim be?
Oh, I know. No, I don't know.
You're like, he posts barely ever. I'm like, me?
Me? Is it Bruce or is it Zane? They post barely ever.
Yo, Zane is going all out for his 200th vlog.
Dude, we
Not gonna
filmed.
say anything about it, but
Yeah.
a lot is happening.
Yeah, we helped him film the last thing, I think, the group things
Yeah.
was this week, and it was really funny to film.
Pretty amazing.
It was really funny. Love that. So, if you guys, I don't know if we said this earlier or not, but we have a YouTube channel. It's called Couple of Issues. We also are on Apple Podcasts, Couple of Issues, Spotify,
Couple of issues.
Couple of Issues, Castbox, I think someone said once.
I don't know, but did I tell you this? I did a session with Sophie Simmons, and she goes, hey, I was going through Spotify. I didn't realize there's podcasts on there. And as I was scrolling through, yours popped up.
Oh.
So she just like found us on there. And she's like, oh, that was so cool.
Cool.
I was like, sweet.
So we're famous.
Spotify.
So we're literally famous.
We're pretty famous. I can't walk outside without people going, do you live here?
Do you live here?
Is that famous?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Yeah,
go
I'm
with that.
super famous.
Yeah. But I was looking at the comments, and one of the top comments on our last video was kind of funny and interesting. But the first part of it says,
I know this comment.
yeah, says, I can see Bruce making a genuine effort not to interrupt Carly, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it too.
Listen, I felt so bad. I saw the one video, I never really look at comments. And the one, I'm like going through all the comments, and they were pissed that I cut off Carly, and I felt really bad about it because I didn't realize I did it. I just get really excited, and I don't want to forget about something.
That's okay.
Listen, I'm not done. No, I'm
Okay,
kidding.
You can cut me off right now.
Yeah, but yeah, it's thank you for making me aware of that, and I am genuinely making an effort. I didn't mean to do it. It's literally just me being like, oh, I'm gonna forget this thought, and it's a selfish way to think, but I'm getting better at it.
It's excitement.
Well,
also,
I wasn't
though.
done. Why did you cut me off?
Oh my God,
Guys,
I'm gonna
you should
kill
comment
you.
below. She
Shut
cuts
up.
out Bruce now.
Shut up.
She changed it.
And like, I don't really, it's weird. I don't notice it at all when we're talking.
Yeah.
But Aaron and I do it all the time in our videos. And I only know because I edit them. Like when we're filming, I don't notice it.
Oh,
it's
true.
like we still hold the conversation and we both hear each other. We're just, I don't know. I feel like we've been doing videos for so long together. It's just like, it just happens.
so
But I'll try to edit and it's hard for me to cut sometimes because one of us is already starting to talk when the other one's finishing. So I'm like, well, it's going to be a really freaking weird edit, but oh well, I have to do it. And then the second part of the comment is.
Yeah, let's get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. It's more interesting. It actually is really cool for what we wanted to do for this podcast because last podcast, you kind of interviewed me about my life,
I did.
how I got. It was like kind of, yeah, I was like how I got into YouTube and how I make money and how I'm rich as hell. No, I'm not rich as hell. But it was really interesting. So we wanted to do that in this podcast with Bruce because obviously, I don't know. I just think the music stuff is so interesting. Hold, let me read this comment
I'm a
first.
music producer. Take a shot.
Take what?
Take a shot every time he says
it. I'm going to read this comment first and I'll get to it. It says, also, this was interesting, but I feel like I've heard so many YouTubers talk about how they make money, but I have no idea how music producing works. Which, yeah. Sorry, I don't know what I was going to say. Is there always a stable income? Do you have a base rate or is it like a percent of the profits? How do your artists find you? So many questions. I'd love to hear Bruce talk about it. So thank you for that comment. That's going to help us start this interview. Imagine me being Barbara Walters. I'm like interviewing like Ariana Grande. I'm like, I just like, I don't know. No, but I was going to say, I think it's really interesting Like, there's so many things people are good at, and you can learn to be good at things. Like, you can go to school and be a doctor. Obviously, it's really hard, but, like, people do it. Or, you know, accounting or
Are you comparing
anything.
me to a doctor?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I'm just saying it takes, like, a special talent. Like, I feel like you have to be born with a talent to know how things sound good together, like a song,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or
For sure.
can you
No,
learn
100%.
that?
I think it's something you have to be born with.
Yeah. So I think
But
that's really,
some people learn.
yeah.
Depends.
I just
Everybody's
think-
different.
Yeah. I just think that's really cool. Because, like, I see him working all the time, and I'm like, this looks like brain surgery. Like, I literally have no idea.
But to be a doctor and have brain surgery, you have to be really smart.
That's true.
To be able to retain information and be.
Yeah. I guess it's like a different type of talent.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Okay, so I have some questions, but I'm going to be looking over because I'm not good at remembering things.
That's fine. I'm really scared.
Why?
You'd be like, okay, what was your first girlfriend's hair color?
That's my
Do you
interview
like her
question.
more than me?
Oh, wait. Do we want to talk about your dream really quick, or is it long?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
well,
talk about
okay.
it.
Okay.
Basically, well, you can't say that and then not
I
talk
know,
about
I
it.
know,
Great.
sorry.
And I sound like a piece of shit right now.
Why?
Carly, and our buddy Zane, we're all hanging out, and we're talking about lucid dreaming and like training yourself to lucid dream. And we were joking that if you cheat in a dream, it doesn't count as cheating. And then I was like, imagine I lucid dream to learn how to cheat in my dream. And Carly's like, imagine I lucid dream to catch you. And I had a dream. I cheated on Carly, and I didn't know how to deal with it.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
I need more details later.
Yeah. I woke up and I was like, oh, what the hell?
You're like, oh, thank God that didn't happen.
I was like, literally the dream, I don't remember the cheating part. It was like, I knew I cheated, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to tell her. She's going to leave me. Like, I was just, and the whole dream was like, I woke up like, thank God I didn't cheat.
Oh my,
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the best feeling when you wake up relieved.
When you wake up not cheating.
Yeah. It's like a stupid vine. When you wake up not cheating. Do 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 do.
He's the best boyfriend because he didn't cheat.
Only in his dreams. Okay, so back to you being a producer and how you got to where you are.
Yeah. Before I was cheating dreams.
Before you were cheating dreams. No, but so you were in bands like your whole life, basically.
Yes.
Like, how old were you when you were in your first band?
14.
What did you do
I played guitar and sang.
at 14?
At 14.
Did
yeah.
you like take lessons, or did you just
I started guitar
figure it out?
lessons. No, I started guitar lessons when I was 12, and I was really lucky because the first guitar teacher I ever had, he taught me this riff, and it was dun 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 dun. dun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I'm doing it wrong. It was dun 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 dun. It's basic blues riff.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that Green Day?
You know, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I went home and I forgot it, and like I had it's called tablature. It's just all numbers, like how many, like what number on your guitar fret you play when you look at it. And I was looking at it, I was like, I don't remember the rhythm of it. So it went from doon, do, 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 do. So I started going doon, doon, do, 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 and I made it funk because I didn't remember what he told me. And when I went in and I played it, and he goes, dude, that's not what I told you to play. And I was like, it was that moment of like, oh, I fucked up. And he was like, that's so cool.
Oh, that's
He goes,
awesome.
you made that your own.
Yeah.
Don't ever forget that.
Oh.
And that changed my life. And I was 12.
So that was like a good teacher,
Yeah.
and he kind
Chris
of changed your
Shepard.
life.
I'll never forget his name.
What's his name?
Chris Shepard.
Shout out.
At
Does he have
Rich Brown
Instagram?
Music. I don't know. I reached out to him on Facebook when I was like 17 or 18.
Uh-huh.
No, it was when I was 19. And the first band, I'm jumping ahead, but the first band I ever got into that got signed.
Uh-huh.
And I messaged him and I was like, you taught me everything, man.
Aw. Did he respond?
Yeah, he was like, that's dope, man. I'm in like New Zealand, like killing it. I'm like, oh, sick, dude.
That's really sweet.
It was pretty funny.
That's awesome. So were you like trying to produce when you were that young too? Like, were you making songs,
You know what's
making beats?
no. Well, I guess, yeah. So I used to take remember those like PC microphones?
Oh my God, yeah, the
Those, like,
long
plastic
ones that
ones?
would like fold down.
And then it would like plug into your computer.
Yeah.
So I would record everything with those.
Oh.
State of the art.
You're kidding.
So I would get my guitar out. I would get my acoustic guitar and I would play, and like then I would play a second guitar, and I'd be like, cool, I have two guitars. And
on like what
on that,
program?
it was called
GarageBand?
Acid Pro. It was before
Acid Pro.
before GarageBand existed. I was using PC. And then I would sing, and it'd be super distorted.
Oh my God.
And I would
On
put,
that
like,
mic?
Yeah, I would put like echo and reverb in the whole thing, and that's how I
That's like
recorded my
literally your first producing.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize like I was learning the basics then. I mean, it sounded like
Whoa.
shit.
I
I still have
didn't-
recordings. They're bad.
Oh my God, I have to hear them.
But so I was in a bunch of bands, and my problem is like I was such a control freak.
Mm-hmm.
because I heard it in my brain. Little did I know, it's like, I feel like it's almost like a disorder that as a producer, you hear things in your brain and you're like, if they're not the right way, I'm going to drive myself crazy.
Yeah.
And in my band, I would go and see some, like, where I grew up, some of the best bands in the area would play. Like, there's a band called Valencia who went on to sign to Columbia Records. The Starting Line was from my area. Like, a lot of bands like that would play local shows. And my bands would open from a lot of great music from Philly, like Wonder Years and stuff like that. So I would play shows with some of these bands, and I would see them, and I'm like, oh, that's a real band. So I would go to my band and be like, we have to be as good as that.
And they're like, wait, what? Because you only had that experience, they didn't.
Yeah.
So they're like, what are you talking about?
So, I mean, they'd be at the shows with me, but in my brain, I'm like, this is a good set. Like, that guitar tone, are you kidding me? And they're like, dude, it's fun. And I'm like, no, like, we have to get signed. You know what I mean? Like,
God.
I was like so serious about it. And like, it took me, like, people used to like joke about it because like I would just like go through different bands.
Yeah.
Like, it just like nothing would stick. And then finally, like, I got in a band that had like a little bit of a following. We were called the Cool Kids Stable.
I like that name for a band.
And really?
Yeah.
I wanted to make a shirt that said the Cool Kid, and then the S was down here and it said table, but it was like the Cool Kid Stable, and there was a little horse.
That's such your humor, too.
So dumb. So, so I joined this band called the Cool Kids Stable. They asked me to try out. So I tried out, joined. And it was the first band I was just singing for.
Oh.
And
No instruments?
No, like, I would help, like, write. Like, I auditioned, like, playing guitar and stuff, because, like, guitar is my main instrument. But I ended up, joined. They gave me their blessing. You can join the band, and
Thanks.
we had like a MySpace following.
So, okay, yeah.
And then
that's how a lot of bands got their start. I feel like back in the day.
Yeah, and so the drummer of the band when I first joined was like a hustler on MySpace, and he would just add people all day and message people all day, and he'd be like, "This is how you have to do this too. Now you have to help us." And we would just sit there all day adding people and messaging people and sending songs and. Yeah, we would get like a ton of listens a day.
Oh, wow.
People checking it out. And then we had a decent little following in the area. Like, enough that when we would sing songs, people would sing along, which was like the first experience of that.
Yeah.
It was like so cool. When you play a song and you can hold the mic out and people sing along.
Yeah,
it was kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah, and like, I wrote that.
Yeah.
Like, that's mine.
Yeah.
And people know it. Yeah, that's really cool. So you were kind of, like you said, you were being a producer, but not actually being a producer yet, because you're like, I need it to sound like this.
Yeah, and at the time, we had gone to, for that band, for the Cool Kids Stable, we went to this guy in the area, and he was great. So it was like being there, I was kind of like watching like what he did, and then I worked with a guy that lived down the street from me a lot, and it was kind of like, I can do this. It was kind of the entrepreneur in me. It was like, wait, why am I not doing this?
Yeah.
You know, like, I should be learning how to record bands, and then I decided to buy some gear and start doing that.
And like, he made his entire basement a recording studio.
It got
like
there.
the entire basement.
Not in the beginning.
Not right away.
Not right away. In the beginning, it was just like half of it was just it was a 2-car garage. Half of it was like an office. So I converted that to the studio, and I would charge bands like $25 a song.
Oh my god.
And like spend like hours just trying to like. And of course, the first band I had in. They came in, we tracked drums, they left, and I called them. I was like, hey, I deleted 2 of the songs.
Oh, no.
You gotta come back. So I was like, I'll give you guys a discount. Like, it was already like so cheap.
Yeah.
I forget what I think it was like $25. So then from there it was like learning.
Yeah.
Just trial and error.
Yeah.
And then like doing stuff in bands, like hearing people be like, hey, that one band was talking shit on you. They said you suck. And it was kind of like, oh shit, okay, I didn't step my game up. Like,
then that's
like,
really Bruce
really
too, to like compete with. He like competes with himself.
Well, that was competing with people telling me I sucked.
And that, but that's more. You'd be like, okay, well, I need to be better than I was.
Yeah. I'm never satisfied, but
So
so it was really interesting.
So obviously, you started making like. When were you like, oh, I can make money producing bands?
It took me a while. Like,
Is recording and producing the same thing? I feel like people probably would have the same question.
Different. Recording could be like, there's like an engineer, right?
Yeah.
So to break it down, like a producer's job, if you want to go old school with it, this is the way it started out as. So you'd have songwriters. So if I write you write a song. You and Aaron write a song together.
Okay. Oh
You'd be
God.
like, I'm gonna come to the producer, right? And you play it on acoustic guitar. I'm like, okay, I hear it going. There's a drum beat, boom, 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 and that bass line's ding, 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 and then you guys are in unison, boom, but then it's just Carly, right? And then it's like, so it's me hearing what the vision. I take it to the next level.
Okay.
But then we would hire an engineer. So the engineer's job is to hit record. The engineer's job is to edit everything in time.
Oh, so you do both.
So, yeah, most producers now do everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's, at least my level. Like, once you start getting bigger than you can have actual engineers in the studio. But now, there's so many different jobs. Then there's, like, mixing engineers. Then there's mastering engineers. And it gets,
Yeah.
it's
I know
fun.
you, like, sometimes you talk about it and I'm so lost because
I
there's
know.
so many, like,
Sorry.
mixing, like, the mix, I'm going to buy the mix and I'm going to have the writing credit. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's so many, like, different terms.
I'm going to buy the mix.
Well, I don't know. You know
That's
what I
so
mean?
funny.
So you started making, so, like, at what point were you like, I'm going to just do this, like, music? You know, like, what point were you like, I can make money and do this?
Well, at the same time that I first started producing, I was booking shows too. And I was in a band. So I was doing, everything I did was music. And it was when I was in college that I was like, why am I here?
Oh, yeah, that's so
Because
interesting.
I'm in class texting bands. Can you do Friday? Okay. Is this rate cool? Cool. Awesome. Okay, I'm talking to my other friend that runs the venue. Okay, I have this band at this time, blah, 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 blah. This is what our overhead is. That, like, I'm doing the business side of that. Okay, hey, this band, can you come in at 4 p.m. to do a session? I'm like, why am I'm literally
working
in
at
a business
school.
class doing business.
Yeah.
This makes no sense.
I feel like at this circumstance, like, that's how you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You should be concentrating on something else. So were you just like, okay, I'm done with school? Or did you finish school?
I stopped. I was going to take a semester off. And at the same time I took a semester off, I had solo music out, and a manager reached out to me. It was like kind of like the most bizarre thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like those moments you hear, like, how the hell did that happen? I don't know. So there was a band called Blue Collar in Philadelphia, and they would open for, like, the biggest bands in the area. They opened for, like, Breaking Benjamin, Good Charlotte, like Sugarcoat, like crazy, like, shows that they would open for. And their manager reaches out, messages me, is like, hey, I'm looking for guitarists for this band. I currently manage Killswitch Engage, or I just worked with Killswitch Engage. I manage Chiodos. I manage Every Time I Die.
Oh my God. So you're like
a lot of these big bands, and I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, literally my first thought was, why are they
fake.
mesaging me?
It's fake.
This is a bot or
Yeah.
spam. They're going to call me and be like, well, it's $500 to audition.
Yeah.
So I literally was just like, hey, man, like, I'm good, thanks. He responds and goes, okay, call me if you're interested.
You're like interested then?
I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to call. Like,
Yeah.
so dumb.
Yeah.
Always be open-minded. I was so jaded at like such a young age.
Well, it's so easy to be like, it's fake.
Yeah, so I called him and he was like, yeah, we're looking to, get the band on Warped Tour next summer and da-da-da-da. We're talking to
like,
labels.
what?
The album's pretty much done. We just got a few more things we got to wrap up. I can send you the songs, check them out. And he goes, we're going to change the name of the band. So he sends me the songs and I was like, this shit is nuts. It was so good. And I was like, yeah, I'll audition. So I auditioned. I ended up joining the band. We changed the name and we toured and we did Warped Tour and the whole thing. And that was like my first, that was when I was like, okay, yeah, I'm never going back to school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good point to not go back to school.
Yeah. And
Did you guys make a lot of money in that band?
No.
Because I feel like
I made no money.
I feel like a lot of people don't know, and I don't really know. Like, at what point when you're a band do you make money touring? Because, like,
Dude,
I have no idea.
this is where the mind shift, like, now that I'm older, is like crazy to me. We made $250 a day on Warped Tour. Uh-huh. 5 guys, because we had a merch guy. Our van was $100 to fill, and we couldn't afford hotels. And $250 to us was like, oh my God, we're killing
Like,
it.
do you have to split that? Or
Yeah.
you each got
That went
$250?
right back into gas, into paying our merch guy. Oh yeah, we made no money.
So you had to split it.
We came out of pocket every
Yeah.
tour.
Oh my. So
We
that's
never broke even.
So you didn't really make, but you were obviously like loving life, like in a
For
band.
me, because I was like, just turned 20.
Yeah.
21. So I was like, yeah, my God, I made it.
Yeah.
little did I know, like every time I'd come home from tour, I'd be like, okay, now I got to work and record bands because that's
Yeah.
like when I started doing it full time
Yeah.
in between tours.
That's really cool though that you just made a whole life of music though. Like even though you were recording bands, like you were still working with the music. It's not like you had to go work at like a hamburger place and like
Well,
your passion was music.
I'm really lucky because my parents were supportive.
Yeah.
Because they let me have the studio at the house when they have an overhead,
yeah.
which
Oh, yeah.
that was what like, and they supported me going on tour.
Oh, okay.
Which is like the hard part. I feel like a lot of people with bands or want to do music for a living, they don't have that support system. But yeah, my parents were fucking great.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. Anyway, shout out to your parents.
Yeah, shout out mom and dad.
So yeah, it's just weird. So it didn't take you until moving to LA and your bandmate quitting for you to like produce full time because you moved to LA, right? A few years ago.
Well, yeah, between that, I always said producing will be my backup plan.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge believer. If there's one thing that I will quote till the time I die, if you make a plan B, you're gonna do your plan B. If you make a backup plan, you're gonna do your backup plan eventually.
Like, is that a bad thing? You think?
I
Or
think
no?
so. If you're a go getter and your mindset is like, I'm gonna be this, but if that doesn't work out, I'm gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna do that. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. This thing, but I'm just like a believer in.
Do you think you producing is bad?
No, it's great.
Oh, okay. So
But
in this case, it wasn't bad.
In my brain, it was like that's a good backup plan.
oh, okay.
But it's ironic. I would preach like whatever you do, like, and I was like, well, the band thing's always this is gonna be here. So
Yeah.
I was in a pop duo called The Weekend
Yeah.
Riot with my best friend, and there's a huge gap in the story. So when we were from Philadelphia, and we had a manager, and we parted ways on good terms. Christian Wagner, shout out Christian Wagner, who introduced us to like everybody. So he introduced me to Brian Mulligan, who became my booking agent, and then Brian introduced us to Laura Worley, and Laura Worley works with LH7 Management. We came out to LA, we did a week of rights, we came back, and then Laura's like, all right, my boss wants to get on a call with you. His name's Brian Teefy. So like, okay, cool. So we get on a call with Brian Teefy, and he's like, all right, tell me more about you guys. And we tell him our whole story and what we envision ourselves doing and whatever, and seeing if, maybe we can like work together. And he starts talking back, and, he's like, okay, well, this is what I do. My name's Brian, blah, blah, blah. And my daughter's Selena Gomez, and
like, oh, what?
And I manage Christina Grimmie, and and we're like, holy shit, like, what the fuck is going on right now? So we're like, okay, yeah, we'll think about it. We get off the phone, and we're like, what? So, yeah, it was like nuts. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, great. So we ended up coming out to LA. He's like, I need you guys out here. So we came out to LA we did literally like 2 months of rights. So I met some like.
Which is, what are rights?
So writing
People probably
sessions.
don't know.
So when you do rights, so like most artist projects, like what you'll do is you'll go in, you'll meet with a songwriter. And so in our case, it was usually 3 of us. So it'd be me, my bandmate, and then the other songwriter. And we would sit there and we would be like, okay, I have this concept, or this is going on in my life right now. I'd love to write about it. It's like, okay, cool. And you sit there for a couple of hours and you write a song. And you go, cool. And sometimes that person's a producer, or, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go home and I'll produce out a demo of that. So we have it. And we did that like from May till December. So we had like 80 songs.
Jeez.
in all like that time. So by the end of that time, we were sitting on like 6 that we were like, oh, these are hits. Like these are the ones that are like going to be our EP, and we're going to top it next year. Like let's go hard. Like let's tour like crazy. Let's get out there and the whole thing. And I talked to my bandmate and I was like, you cool with this? And he was like, yeah, cool. Like so excited. It was like, great. And then it came time to like get back to LA and get working again. And he was like, yeah, I can't do this. Like I'm quitting. I'm moving home. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was like your whole plan just went bye-bye. I don't know why that word came out of my mouth, but it went bye-bye. Yeah. But like it literally went away.
So that was the moment I was like, oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do now. And it took me probably 4 months before I was like, I should produce.
Yeah.
Because I tried literally everything I could to make a duo work. And everything just like made me sad.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because when you have something so special with somebody and then you try to like redo
Replace
it with
it
somebody
almost.
else or try a different version of it, you're just like, nah. I just
Yeah.
got to let that, like, it's over. And, like, that for me, accepting that was literally the worst breakup I've ever been through.
Yeah.
And
Makes
then,
sense.
yeah, well, yeah.
Because it's like a lot of people think breakups are just relationships.
Yeah.
But it's just like that was your whole world.
Yeah, it was literally, my best friend breakup. So, so then after that, I remember Brian, my manager, calling and being like, okay, so are you Weekend Riot the producer? Are you Weekend Riot the blah, blah? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I was
You
so
were
scared.
a mess. You were
I was
a
like
mess.
crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad time. It was a rough time. But they
Well-
were like, we're going to get you in sessions and we're going to try you out as a producer. And it was like when I started at the same time, I got in with like a huge producer who kind of gave me a stamp of approval.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was working with some bigger songwriters. And then we were getting songs that were great.
Yeah.
And the production was great. And we are pitching along. And we started to get interest. So we're like, okay. They were like, cool. Like, we're going to put you in rooms with everybody now. And that was a really cool moment. And then that's where that kind of started to.
Yeah. So well, it kind of worked out, sort of. I mean, it did work out, but like it's really good that because you started producing for the Weekend Riot. Like you would produce some of the songs, right?
Some
like
of it,
is that
yeah.
how you learned to produce pop? By
Yeah,
doing your own
100%.
stuff? Because
The-
then now it's like you learned that and then you kind of just had to become a pop producer.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that was my segue into it.
Yeah,
Because, like,
exactly.
the interesting thing is, like, we would do, like, I would produce the stuff and be like, well, this is just, I would call it a demo. This is a demo. I'm not good enough. I'm not
okay.
a real producer.
Oh,
You know what I
so it
mean?
was like, I'm just doing this on the side.
I'm a rock pop punk producer.
Okay.
I'm not a pop producer.
Got it.
I got to get somebody else's stamp of approval.
Got it.
But you go through life and you think like somebody's going to be like, you got it, kid.
Yeah.
And then you do it and you do it and you do it. And then
Like,
I'm like,
oh, I'm here.
And then I'm like, okay. So then I did, my first big song was Gabby Hanna's song Out Loud,
Mm-hmm.
which came out like a year ago. And it was number 3 on iTunes. Nobody was there to be like, you're a real producer now, kid.
Yeah, because like, did you feel
I
like
was
you
like,
made it at that point, or
oh,
were you
yeah.
just like, oh,
That
okay.
was the moment.
You're like, oh, this is what people feel like when they get songs.
You know what the moment was? I was with you. We were at Crave.
Oh, I know
in
that
Studio City.
I know this part.
And
yeah.
I was going through, and there was a Billboard article that like posted about it, and I was just like, "Holy shit, dude! This
Yeah.
is nuts!"
Yeah.
And that was like, it wasn't like I never view things as like, "That's it. Okay, cool. I don't have to worry now." It's like that was great. Now I know I have the potential to do this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
So
and you've like had
let's keep going.
what?
No, I meant
Oh,
like
I
in
was
my
like,
brain.
okay, we'll go.
No. It's like
Let's move on.
in my brain. I was like, okay, cool, like that's great.
Yeah.
But now, what's the next thing?
Yeah. So just to
can't really
backtrack a
enjoy
little
it.
bit, when you decided to just become a producer, were you like confident to be like, I'm gonna do pop music and this is what I'm gonna do now and I'll be good at it? Like, were you confident, or was it like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to work with people and produce a song for them that's not mine?
Yeah, I was always nervous. I don't like to show that I'm nervous. Like I'll never show it in sessions.
Yeah.
But like there's some like in the beginning, I was a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
I worked with my friend Maya Marie, and she was Warner Chappell. Like she writes with, or she's a published songwriter on Warner Chappell, and she's amazing. She's my favorite person to write with. But our first session, I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And I would love to ask her now. Like did
what-
you know?
Oh yeah.
But
Probably not. You're
that
really
song
good at hiding it.
That song holds up so
Which
well.
one is it?
I don't want to say.
Oh, okay.
But-
I think I know what you're talking about. And yes,
Yeah.
you're right. So money. The money is probably very
really
different
interesting.
from recording bands at home in
Yes.
Philly or outside of Philly, as opposed to writing, recording, producing pop music in Los Angeles. Like that has to be so different. And like, I don't know if people know, but you don't like you work every single day. Like you're working with people every single day,
Yeah.
and you're not really getting money from that.
No.
Like you're putting 8 hours basically a day, probably more sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes 10.
Sometimes he has doubles and it's like whole day. So I guess like how does that work? Like I know you don't get paid to just do a session. So you have to basically hope somebody uses the song.
Yeah, so it's like back in Philly when I would work, it was you got paid for it, right? So if you did a session, I would get paid no matter what. So I think I was charging like $250 a song. And
Cha-ching.
to me, that was like, I was like, holy shit. Like I didn't have any overhead, so it was like great. And then I came out here and I was like, I couldn't get anybody to pay me $250. Everybody's like, no, you work for free out here. If I want to put it out, then we'll talk numbers. So basically, songwriting, if I write a song with somebody, this is how I do it. If there's 2 of us in the room, if there's 3 of us in the room, equal splits, right? Like there are a lot of people in LA, especially pop writers, that'll go. If you even people in the room, they'll be like, well, you only did the verse. You're 20%. Okay, you did this.
Oh, God,
and then I
that's
get
so
the rest.
hairy.
It gets really hairy.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, even splits, if somebody comes in later and adds to it, then we'll figure out what did you actually add that made it,
Different.
that's different. But yeah, I'm like a big believer. So that's like, and the songwriting is the publishing side of things. So when that song is on iTunes, when it's on Spotify, when it's in a commercial, the publishing is split 3 ways to those writers. If there's 3 writers on a song. So every day I'm writing, and that's the funny thing that like people are just kind of like, what do you do? I only see like this amount of songs you have out right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, there's so much happening.
He has literally, I'll come over at night and he probably makes a song 5 days a week. That's like, could be on the
5
radio.
songs.
Like, yeah, like 1 song a day for 5 days or something.
Well, the thing is there's a million of us in
I know.
in LA alone.
Yeah.
So it's like, if everybody's writing a million songs a day, then, or if there's a million songs being pitched every day, which there are, at least, it's like, how am I going to guarantee myself getting a part of that? That means you're writing every single day and pushing. There's some people I work with that are like, I've been working on this one song for 3 months and I want to pitch it to blah, blah artists, whoever. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, and
you gotta be.
Yeah, there's this.
Quick.
If you're an artist, songwriter, if you're in the arts at all, I would highly recommend a podcast called "And the Writer Is," and they interview big songwriters, some big artists like Charlie Puth's on there and stuff. And the host Ross Golan talks. He's a big songwriter too. He wrote like "Dangerous Woman" for Ariana Grande and stuff. But he says like songwriting's the only job you go and you like fail like
a billion times,
29 days out of the month.
Yeah, yeah.
And then one day you're like, cool, I got a cut. You know, it's like so crazy.
That's what's interesting is like you could easily move back home and start recording people for $100 whatever, right? Like a low amount for like bands.
I would never do that.
Well,
now.
you wouldn't, but I'm saying like you could.
What do you mean?
Like maybe not now, but like back in the day.
Why would I backtrack?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know how to say it. Like there's such a give and take, or not give and take. So if you do a song, I'm really bad at words, like describing what I'm trying to say. You don't get paid for any of the writing sessions, but if one song makes it, you make a lot of money, right?
Well, it depends
if
who
it
it
hits,
is.
If
That's
it hits.
such it's such a generalized thing. It depends if it's like a big artist.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
whatever.
Like if you get some song you do somehow gets to Ed Sheeran and it's all over the place, like you make a lot of money, but that couldn't really happen at home.
It could. It would just be 10 times harder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Like the money
everything's
is like,
happening in here.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is like now I think it's hard to compare because when I was doing that stuff, I was like, there's no way I could ever even be in that world. And now I'm in it.
Now you're in it.
And I'm like, my rate is way higher than it was when I was back in Philly.
Yeah.
Charging $250 for a song, which I thought was absurd.
Yeah.
And like now it's like, whoa.
So do people, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just, like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like what it's changed to. And like once you have management and they're handling all that stuff for you and getting you in rooms and like you're literally just like leveraging your way up. It's like, it's insane. It's crazy.
So if somebody comes to you and is like, I want you to produce this, you charge them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's, if I'm producing, that's, there's like a production rate. And then you figure out, well, if we write the song together, we get the publishing split, but then you got to pay me X amount.
So it's another way but you've made this your job. Like you do this full time.
Oh yeah, this is all I do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I work for Adobe Radio as well.
Yeah.
Part-time.
Yeah. But
which is great.
So was there any time where you're like, oh, like this is good. Like I've made a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first big check.
Yeah.
Which was pretty insane for the number 3 on iTunes, and it streamed really well.
Yeah,
and,
that was
that was a great day. I was very, very, very thankful.
Yeah. And that's like crazy because you did that. Like that was your work. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, it's nuts when you basically made that shit from you know what I mean?
The
like
ground, like
from thin air.
Yeah.
Like literally like that's what Ross Golan on And the Writer Is talks about. He's like, we sell air for a living.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
Like you're just putting, somehow you figure out how to put.
We sat in a room and I wrote a song with her and I was like, okay, cool. That's the song. Like, let's put it out and see what happens. And it was just like, it was nuts.
Nuts.
And it was back on the pop charts.
Oh yeah,
It's on the
yeah.
top charts right now. So cool. So cool.
Something that like
It's a,
you helped, like that was
yeah.
your thing.
It's got over 20 million streams on Spotify. It's like insane. It's so cool.
It's like your creativity is just like out
fun.
there.
I
That's
love
cool. It. It's cool like
My
that
favorite thing ever.
that we can both be creative.
It's so exciting.
like it's
so
so,
cool.
weird.
Yeah.
But you work with, so is it weird working with different people like every day? Because obviously people are probably going to have different opinions and like have maybe arguments or something in the room. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want it to sound like this, or I want to say this instead. Like, do people ever fight about what goes in a song? Because like I could only imagine so many creative people in one room.
It gets really, really rough when there's somebody, especially when there's one stubborn person in the room.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if everybody's, to be a collaborator, to be a good co-writer, you have to be able to be vulnerable and just say stuff, because you're in a room, right? So most of the people I write with, I'm meeting them that day. Mm-hmm. We don't know each other at all.
So
and I have
weird.
to be so vulnerable in front of you and tell you like, you know, my song ideas and be like,
Yeah.
and you have to be honest with me to go, that sucks. Like,
Oh,
do better.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I have
Yeah.
to be like, no, that's too cheesy. That's too on the nose.
Uh-huh.
No. Like, we can beat that. Like, you have to be honest with somebody, and it's really tough because,
Like, what in what world are you that honest
I
so
know.
upfront? That's
And
weird.
and then it's great, but then I've had great sessions where it's like, you know, like that. But then I've also had horrible sessions where people get really, really selfish. People get really, really make the room uncomfortable for no reason, or
So why?
and it's because it's so. Okay, we did this in the room, now let's leave. Once people leave the room, you don't know what that person's going to turn to.
Yeah.
I've had people go behind my back.
Yep.
I've had people contact labels to be like, we need extra whatever, add this on to his rate because we're getting that. Like, crazy shit that I had to deal with.
And it's like that's not the same person in the room.
That was not the, like, that was
Yeah.
not. And then they're saying, Bruce said this. And I'm like, that's not what I said.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, you said you'd be okay with it. I said, I'd be okay to open to talk about it, but you went straight to the guy without even my consent. It gets like really hairy.
Yeah, it's so hairy.
It
Especially because it's like
sucks.
all the different splits and like who contributed to what and like
I hate that part of it. I hate the business side of it.
yeah,
It's just like,
you get really anxious about the business side when there's ever like a confrontation or an argument about the business side. You get really really anxious.
yeah, it gets really tough.
You're like, can someone else just deal with all of the business stuff? And can I be a
That's my
separate
manager.
entity?
Yeah, my manager is fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
And handles all that, which
Yeah.
is great.
Which is a good thing to have.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, I don't know.
I
I'm not,
learned my lesson pretty early on that
I know.
he's got to handle everything.
You got to
for me.
handle everything.
Yeah, let him be the
That's
bad
for
guy.
sure. I don't know how much time we have, but I wanted to ask, what time is it? Just don't want to
over an
overload
hour.
you guys. What?
We're over an hour, but
Okay.
what do you got?
Like, how do you feel now? Do you feel like you're established? Do you feel like you're at where you want to be?
That's
as
you
a
know what's
producer?
crazy, because I guess I'm trying to think of like if I didn't know what I know now, it's harder than ever to be a successful songwriter, which
Yeah.
is really scary. But we are like in this, it's the transformation right now. So I think finally Spotify is like giving like, it's allowing you to afford to keep going as a songwriter. And you get a publishing deal, and a publishing deal would just be like, hey, we're going to give you this amount of money for your publishing. So we're going to take X% of your publishing, but we're giving you a $15,000 advance. So you live off that for a year or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's rough, but at least that'll sustain me living. So a lot of people jump from publishing to a publishing deal. But you have to make that money back to the publishing company before you can sign another deal. That being said, I don't have a publishing deal because I'm trying to hold out for that. But the thing is like when I got my first check, and it was kind of, to me, it was the moment of like, I'm going to be all right. It was like, okay, cool. Like I can do this. Keep going. But then it's like, as soon as you get to that number in your head, you're like, once I hit this amount of money in my bank account, cool. Like I'll feel better.
Yeah.
I'm like, after taxes,
I know, it's
paying
a
management,
lot, yeah.
after, you know, you factor in all these things. Oh, rent? Okay, damn. Okay, and health insurance, car insurance, you know, all this stuff. You're like, oh shit, okay. So you start to factor in like, until I can afford all of that and like be comfortable, like it's going to take a bit.
Yeah.
But to me, it was like the moment of like, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the scary thing of like, if those might only happen once a year.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have to be like, and it could be 3 small songs a year, 1 big song, a year of nothing, and then a smash in the next year. And next thing you know, you're part of Despacito. And your
Right.
life is forever changed.
Yeah, it could happen quick
It's
like that.
crazy.
Yeah.
And all it takes is one person going, I love this. I'm emailing it to so-and-so. Oh, I'm emailing it to so-and-so. Like, your song can get bounced through. And so that's why I always say just network with people, just get in rooms with people, just offer your services for free. And, like, obviously get your percents and whatever. But, like...
Just the Wild West.
Yeah, it's fucking
like
nuts.
anyone could just contact you and be like, you know, and then it could change your life.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's crazy. But you didn't answer. How do you
sorry.
feel now? Like, do you feel like you're at a place where you want to be?
I never thought I'd be at this place.
Right.
So it's kind of, so my brain is in this transformation period to be like, I'm still like balancing this act of, okay, I'm not an artist anymore because I was in that mindset for so long.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I'm pretty much full on producer, songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm also like, man, I would still love to put music out and like feature my friends and like other artists. So now I'm like in that phase. So like, I don't know how to answer that question. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's okay.
I guess like I'm excited.
Yeah. But you're happy that this is what happened.
Oh, I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It let me hear.
I'm like, good.
Yes.
Well,
Let me to you.
It did? Oh, yeah, it did. Duh. Because he moved here because the band and I live here, so
Yeah.
it's true.
It all worked out.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks for answering those questions.
no problem. Thank you for asking. I feel like I didn't answer anything.
You feel like you didn't answer anything?
Yeah, I blacked out that whole time. What happened?
We can watch it back, and you did answer a lot of things. Do you want to answer an email, or are we over time?
We're pretty over time.
Okay.
Let's get one in, though.
All right.
You
They're
have
going to be like, we're done. We're like, let's do one, though.
Good news, guys.
What's up?
The ads are right around the corner.
Right around the koi corner.
Right around the koi corner. We've been approached, and we're very excited.
It's coming. Don't worry, guys.
You guys are killing it. Keep on subscribing. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. It's where you can find Couple of Issues.
Subscribe everywhere.
And we're on social media at Couple of Issues. And our email is coupleofissuespodcast@gmail.com. And this is where that email come from. Hit us with it, Carl.
All right, so this one is interesting, I think. It says, hi, I'm not going to say her name. I don't know if she wants me to or not. Hi, I'm blank. I'm a 15-year-old girl from South Carolina, and I'm pretty sure I'm incapable of love. My whole life, I've questioned if I really love my mom or if I'm just conditioned to think I love her because she's my mom. Now that I'm older, I block that out and focus more on falling in love. I get bored of people fast, and this is something I struggle with in my everyday life. The past 2 relationships I've been in have ended because I just decided I didn't like them anymore. They started out with me being really into them and thinking about them all the time, but most of the excitement goes away once I find out the other person likes me back. Whoa, this was literally me all through high school.
Really?
And it just like kind of went away. So maybe if this is you, I feel like it'll go away. Because one of my best friends was the exact same way. And it like went away over time too.
Interesting.
Like I would be really obsessed with the guy and like
Until he liked
build it
you?
up in my head maybe. And I think that's maybe what she's doing is think
Yeah.
that they're different. And then once they would like me back, I'd be like, oh no, never mind. And I would just have to like back off.
So
it's
weird.
really weird. But one of my other girlfriends was the exact same way. So we were both like, why did we do this? Like we
Yeah.
had no idea. And it just kind of went away. I don't know. Went away when I was like 19, 20, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. This occurs even in friendships, but not as intense. Now I have a really hard time catching feelings for people, which is strange for the crazy boy person that I am. I thought I might be asexual, but I'm actually a very lustful person. I've never been a strong believer in true love, and now I'm starting to wonder, is falling in love really a thing, and is it what the media hypes it up to be? I really am worried I'll never find love. Please tell me what you believe about love, and I'd like any advice you have to give. Your podcast is amazing. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything. That's
For everything? Wow.
yeah. Well, you're welcome.
You're welcome for that beautiful day you had the other day. That
Yeah,
was us.
That was us. It was the Coys.
Boys.
It was the Coys. Dang. I don't know. So I don't even know how to answer this. Really. I mean, I think love is real.
I think love is real. I don't think it's always in the most cliche movie sense. I think people try so hard to force it into that, and I don't think it's. Sometimes it's that.
Yeah, I think movies take like the most exciting part of love and make that the whole thing.
Yeah,
which is, you know, a good movie, but I think that love is like, I don't know. I believe it, obviously, because I love you and I love
you too.
Oh, really? And I love my friends and family, but I think the thing about being 15 is you're just still growing up, and it's okay to like somebody and then when they like you, not to like them back. I only say that because I was the exact same way, but you have to be upfront with the person about it. Well, you have to be like, hey, I'm really sorry. Like, this just isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Because I would just, like, ghost them sometimes. Because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, 15, I mean, just keep having fun.
Yeah.
When you're 16 and somebody tells you they love you, you're going to believe them.
No, that's 15.
Oh, it is 15?
It's 15.
When you're 15, someone tells you they love you, you're going to believe
You're
them.
going to believe
Taylor
them.
Swift shout. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think
just keep living it up, and one day love will come to you.
Yeah.
It'll come when you least expect it. It'll come knocking on your door. It'll say, hey, it's love here.
And you're like, whoa, you talk?
You'd be like, whoa, you talk? And it'll be a big scary man, and you shoot that man.
Okay, relax.
Okay, sorry.
Relax. Yeah, I think that
just keep your guard up, okay? You don't know. Love might come to kill you.
It might. It might kill you in the ass. The ass?
Anyways, guys, make sure to follow us at Couple of Issues. Yeah, I don't know. Just have fun, you know? 15. It's a fun age.
Yeah, I think that you'll, like, keep your mind open and your heart open, and you'll, if you like somebody, give it a chance. Mm-hmm. What are you laughing at?
No, I was just laughing. I'm just like, I was such an asshole. I was just like jokingly segueing out of it.
Oh, it's okay.
Like, anyways.
Oh.
Yeah, so love is. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, you know, we both have our own ways of dealing with things.
Yeah. My way of like dealing with love is usually subscribing to our podcast.
Versus like, this needs to be over.
I'm like, that's for like an hour 20.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you're welcome, you guys.
It's the longest episode. I'm sorry I drug on so long with my interview.
No, I think it was good. You know what? It'll
I
give
hope
us
you enjoyed it.
A lot of ads on YouTube.
But no, I think, you know, if anybody has any questions and anything like that, you can always reach out to me too at Bruce Wigner. She's at Carly and Contro. And I love to hear music. So if you want to tweet me music or whatever, send it on over and I'll listen to it. I love listening to new songs with Niall Horan.
Oh, just hit the mic on my face. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you next time. But right now I'm in a state of mind. Turn off the camera. Oh, okay.
Picking it up.
Bye.